Welcome back to the FantasyFlo Podcast. We talking football today. We got running backs. We got Hopkins' new signing. It's a lot to dive into.
Finally.
Yes. Your boy is coming up on his age, though.
Who, Hopkins?
Yes, he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
What is that production going to be like, especially playing for Tennessee?
Well, I remember I sent the post in the chat, in the Instagram chat this week sometime, and I think you were like, yo, it's kind of crazy that like this slide is like, most of these slides are really true. And I think one of them was like Tennessee where receivers go to die.
Mm-hmm. And they had a picture of
Randy, Julio.
Wait, but A.J. Brown was there.
He left.
He left at the right time, I guess, yeah.
He probably would have been done by now already. Nah, he wouldn't have been.
He wouldn't have been done.
So y'all ain't got no hope for Treylon?
Nah, I got hope for Treylon.
Treylon young, and he's pretty much a AJ Brown kind of guy anyway.
Yeah, second year wide receiver, so he should see a difference compared to his first season.
Yeah.
Usually wide receivers in their second to third year, they start to like really shine. So
he had a lot of injury issues last year. But I think, normally when you get your first year coming into any national league, like you got to get that first year under your belt and then things start clicking. Football, like sometimes it clicks for certain players. Like remember when JJ came into the league, he was absolutely horrible in the beginning. Not horrible, but he wasn't producing like what people really hoped he would in the beginning. And I remember Cody dropped him. And I picked up JJ, and JJ was a staple. Mind you, I had no receivers, and JJ ended up being my receiver that year. And he had good games, and then he would have like, all right. But he had good games, and then all right. And then the next season,
yeah, because it's honestly becoming more common for first-year wide receivers to like break out. They might not do it the whole season. They might start off a little slow, but typically, well, not typically, but there has been an increased amount of cases where your first-year wide receivers are like just balling out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And usually within that first 3 years, you're probably a top 5 receiver.
At some point, yeah.
Yeah. Especially in today's league because they pass so much.
But we got D-Hop is 31. I imagine he got 3-4 years left.
So he's going into what year?
32. He's 31 now.
Well, what year in the NFL? Because when did D-Hop get drafted?
Shoot, it's been a minute now. I ain't even remember. He's old though. He's getting up there for sure. But I think that remember he made the comment the other day where he said that if he can't drop 1,000 yards, he'll retire.
2013. He was
2013. So
10 years.
10 years.
So he at like the 10-year mark. So you already know by that point, like the production is going to start to taper off because you see what happened to Julio.
Yeah,
right?
They're different receivers though.
They're different receivers, but even still, like usually by the 10-year mark, that's when you really start to see a regression in the numbers. So
I do see it as he will never be the Texans D-Hop that he was, but he could at least do the same he did with the Cardinals. Yeah, as long as he's
Texas D-Hop was absolutely amazing. He was young. So, I don't think he'll ever be that, but I think he was still amazing with the Cardinals, too. As soon as he got there, he was really good.
The hands don't go away.
Yeah, the hands don't go away.
It's the getting open part.
No,
he still got the speed, though, bro.
Staying healthy.
Yeah, at 31, you should. You definitely should.
I feel like he does his thing, bro. I think as long as he stays, takes care of his body and just make sure that he does, what he has to do to manage those injuries and not stay hurt too long if he does get hurt. I think the Titans got a good steal. It's a matter of if Tannehill can be a good quarterback this year for them.
I think it's going to open the fact that D-Hop is there is going to open up a lot of opportunities for
Treylon for sure.
Straight up, because this should be his year to shine. Kind of like how Devontae did when A.J. Brown came. Devontae got open way more last year, given the fact that he has Jalen Hurts at quarterback, too. So.
The Eagles situation definitely has a factor for Jalen Hurts, but you're not wrong. A.J. Brown definitely opened it up, and Dallas Goedert being good.
Yeah, the more weapons you have, the better.
Yeah, 100%. So they got a very, very, very solid receiver in that draft. he went after Jalen Waddle. Remember when we were at the stadium and I was upset because I'm like, bro, get me Devontae. Mm-hmm. This is the Heisman winner, bro.
Because of the matchup with Tua and everything.
Yeah, but then I heard him say that he felt like Mac was better.
Yeah,
and then I was just like, you know what, bro, whatever. Jalen Waddle's really fast. Maybe that will work for us, and I think it's worked out pretty well. Do y'all think Devontae is better or worse than Waddle?
I think I prefer Waddle. I prefer speed, wide receiver, because that's like the offense I like to see. I like the explosive offense aspect. So I'm going to pick Waddle.
As of right now, I'm going to say Waddle. As of right now, if Devontae over the years can continue to develop his game, then he might be a little bit higher. But as of right now, Waddle for sure.
Yeah. I think Waddle has the explosive element to his game, which makes him, more scarier for a defense. Mm-hmm. But I would say that Devontae has like the full package though. Like I think, like when you talk about a route running, you talk about hands. Yeah. Positioning yourself when you're jumping for the ball. Mm-hmm. Like Devontae knows how to do all of that. I think he even knows how to get hit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So and he's really small. So you gotta think about when people are that small and they make it to the NFL. Like, it's hard to get hit by one of these swole like dudes over here just coming to knock you out, bro.
Especially in motion.
Exactly.
Right.
So
it's more of, you could say like Devontae can go to the Falcons and be that Julio type player.
Yeah.
But Waddle can go to the Chiefs and be that Tyreek player.
Yeah.
So it's just where it fits.
It guess really comes down to what you want for your offense. And like where the Dolphins went and had Waddle already and then they added Hill, that element of speed was just crazy, bro.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
But on to that, well, D-Hop being, the topic of the conversation right now, Madden still gives him a lot of
respect.
A lot of respect. And it makes me think now, because we probably left D-Hop out of our rankings when it came down to the wide receiver rankings. Do y'all think like that would kind of switch up a little bit?
With him being on the Titans now?
Yeah. I think the volume comes.
The volume would definitely be there.
He's the wide receiver one.
Yeah.
So he should get the most looks.
Mm-hmm.
He's D-Hop. He's 31. He's not 35, 36. So the hand's not going away. It's just him being healthy and wanting to play.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. And Tannehill give him the ball, like you said earlier.
Yeah, I think for sure what will work for him is if Burks steps up too. Mm-hmm. Just the same way where, you know that Hill was over there, and if Waddle wasn't already established, we would be asking, could Waddle be that second receiver? Yeah. But now that we know that he, did that before the year before Hill got there, we're like, yo, do y'all know how fast our team is gonna be?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a little scary. So I think when Burks like steps into the receiver that he's supposed to be, and hopefully he's not one of those busts that, like everybody thought this receiver was gonna be something like a Treadwell, like a White. Was it Marcus White? Not Marcus White. Something White. He was on the Bears, number 11. He had a dreads. I can't remember, but his last name was White. Devontae Parker.
Talking about like Kevin White or
Kevin White. Kevin White. Yeah. And then there's the Devontae Parkers. Like, there's a lot of people who like we were drafted really high in a way, and we thought that they were gonna be something like. And y'all know I tried my hardest to fight for Devontae. But it's funny though, the Patriots were always rumored to get D-Hop. Because
I thought the Jets were too.
Nah, bro.
I don't see the Jets,
they weren't gonna make it. They were more. I feel like they were more intrigued by Cook than Hopkins. Like, if Hopkins took a pay cut, they would do it.
Yeah.
But I think the Jets weren't a part of that. I know that the Chiefs were also obviously an option.
It was the Chiefs,
but
the Bills.
All the championship contending teams would have wanted him to take a pay cut in order to come there to win a championship with them. I mean, the Chiefs would have had, like, if they went and got D-Hop and he went to the Chiefs, like,
nasty.
It would have been nasty.
He's not Tyreek Hill by any imagine, like the speed and all that, but he's still a really good receiver. And a person like
100%.
Somebody like Patrick Mahomes would go crazy having a good receiver like that.
Yeah, because you still got Kelsey over there. You got Sky Moore going into his second year. Who else you got over there?
They got Justin Ross now. I remember that he didn't play last year.
Yeah, Justin Ross. I was just reading about him today. Actually,
he's gonna be somebody.
He's
really
climbing
good.
wide receiver ranks too. So
Yeah, he's gonna be real good too. There's a lot of guys, bro. And I mean, so when the Patriots were, rumored to go get him, you're sitting there thinking like, well, you remember when Tom Brady got Moss, Randy Moss for him, and they damn near went to the Super Bowl. Well, they went to the Super Bowl. They almost went undefeated. And it's just one of those things, bro. It's like Mac Jones has been getting a lot of heat lately because he's not that guy yet.
Right.
He's a top 75 player though,
Bullshit. Bullshit. But nah, bro, like it's just wild though, bro. But I think that D-Hop was probably looking for the bag. I know that basically he was probably waiting. And I think Tennessee, like I think I heard somebody say that Tennessee must have like got scared and just offered him some good money to make sure that they won that bidding war.
I'm surprised they had a lot of money because they paid Henry.
I mean, Henry's only essentially like when you really think about getting paid a lot, Henry, it's a lot of money for a running back, but he's only getting paid like $12 million.
True.
Yeah, I just, I don't know. I think that with Tennessee, they need to be thinking about the future with their quarterback. They need to be thinking about their future with their running back, because Henry is only going to be Henry for so long. And at some point, his progression, his level of productivity is going to start to drop.
And it's supposed to be this year, based on his age and everything.
He'll still probably do pretty decent, but it's not going to be like prime
yards, every game, whatever.
So, I mean, you got Treylon Burks, but then you also need other answers at wide receiver too. Like Hopkins is just, he's good for the moment. He got that paycheck.
Yeah.
But
I 100% think D-Hop should be a top 10 receiver.
Going into this year?
Yes, if Tannehill could get him the ball.
It depends on the targets, the yardage.
I'm scared of Tannehill losing his job to Will Levis.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
I know that they're already kind of moving off of the other quarterback they drafted last year, Malik Willis. They might be moving off of him. They might release him, but even him, because he was, he showed a little flashes. I will say this though, Malik Willis. If you get cut, the Dolphins need to go find that boy.
Yeah, I agree, because they could develop him.
Definitely.
He has a cannon, and he moves. So I think that it's worth a try, just at least. But yeah. So, but speaking of, y'all were bringing up Derrick Henry. Speaking of running backs, was it yesterday they had the deadline for the running backs those were the main people that they were talking about. But
yeah, it was yesterday at like
for
4
franchise,
o'clock.
For the franchise tag.
Yeah.
So now we saw, obviously, Evan Ingram signed the franchise tag as a tight end. He's out the way. There was the topic of conversation was
running backs.
3 running backs. It was Tony Pollard, it was Saquon Barkley, and it was Josh Jacobs.
Yep.
Those 3 guys all had franchise tag tenders. Now, Pollard signed his deal already. Yeah. So he's gonna come. He signed it. He's gonna get his $10 million something, and he's gonna play this year. And he just gonna hope to God that they're willing to reinvest in him
and that he don't get hurt.
Yeah. So, but they could always tag you again.
That's true. Won't be the first time.
You get paid more though.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how everything plays out with Pollard as far as the season goes, because there's Zeke, like we don't know what's going on with him, and Pollard's going to be like the probably the main focal point with his pass catching abilities. I don't really know how well he'll do it, like
running through the tackles.
Running through the tackles, every down back.
Yeah.
The workload gonna take a toll because he's just not used to it with Zeke being there prior.
Yeah, right. That's why I always fear like picking up running backs when they're now being elevated after the top running back was so good for so long and is now left. That's why I'm scared of Alexander Madison. I'm scared of Pollard. Like Pollard's going high, but Pollard is going pretty high. Honestly, I saw him high up on the rankings for running backs this season, and I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like I like him, but I don't like him that much. You definitely have to take a chance.
It's RB2.
Yeah,
straight up RB2.
You think so? He could be RB1.
He could, but that's a late round, I think. I think you're talking about. I'm talking about like 12th, 13th running back, maybe 10, maybe.
Bro, he's going like as like one of the almost top 10 running backs.
Yeah,
not on my list.
And I'm just saying in general, like over just when you look at draft, like on mock drafts all over, he's going as a top 10.
Yeah, because I mean, let's be real. These folks, they're gonna use that.
It's because he's a starter.
The rankings from ESPN during the draft, they're gonna be looking like, oh, Pollard's left, scoop, or they might even reach for Pollard.
Mm-hmm. Because he, based off what he did last year,
right?
A Dallas fan will definitely reach for Pollard.
Yeah,
exactly.
Go right ahead.
But so Josh Jacobs, Saquon. So let's pivot from a little bit of the fantasy football and go into what's actually happening with these running backs.
Yeah.
Like, it's going crazy right now, bro. Like, we saw yesterday a slew of running backs just chiming in, telling everybody how they felt about how the NFL treats the running back in today's, like, NFL. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of crazy, bro, because it's like imagine you go to work, right? Mm. You know, you got the manager, you got the assistant manager, you got these guys and then you got this one good worker, right? And this good worker decides that, you know, they want to get paid more, and they work hard, like just as good as the other worker who may be a receiver, who may be a cashier, whatever you want to put it in context for, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But this guy is the same job, just same workplace, different job, but puts in just as much work as those guys, if not more. Mm-hmm. And they're like, yeah, you know, you work really hard, but this is all we're willing to give you. But then you saw such and such person who doesn't necessarily put the same exact level of work and production into what they put on the field get paid more money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's crazy, bro.
It is crazy. I mean, for the running backs, you know, it's not ideal because you want to get paid. Like, you're definitely valuable. Mm-hmm. If you're not on that team, another team is looking to scoop you up and pay you whatever they want to, what you want. You know what I'm saying? So in a situation for them, it just sucks that the NFL is also all about business when it comes to these running backs, and they treat them like the running backs are a dime a dozen. Mm-hmm. And I can maybe understand why, because of injuries.
Understood.
You know, like when the player that you have is getting injured, you want somebody that's going to be playing throughout the season and is producing for you. But at the same time, we got to be human here. And just because they get hurt or have a history of injury does not mean that you should lower the price on them that much.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
If you produce, you should get a payday, because the way it's set up is I'm a new running back. Mm-hmm. I got pretty much my rookie contract to prove I need the bag. Mm-hmm. And even if I do prove it, you're just going to franchise tag me, or you're going to draft somebody else.
Right.
And it's not fair, especially when you got like Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook. I'm getting 30+ carries a game. Who wouldn't get hurt?
Yeah.
Like, and I can't play hurt like they did back in the day. It's not fair.
So let me ask y'all a question. Who do you compare, say, a Saquon Barkley to in the NBA? Like, who would you think you could, like, it doesn't have to be an exact comparison, but like, if you had to say Saquon is this in the NFL as a running back, what would you say Saquon is? Who would you compare him to in the NBA?
That's a tough question.
Yeah, that is a tough question.
So you're saying somebody who we know is talented, is injury prone,
okay,
and wants his money. That what you're trying to compare?
Yeah,
basically.
All right, Kawhi Leonard becomes
that's the first person that came to my mind.
Kawhi Leonard becomes a free agent, or is looking for a deal, and his team doesn't want to sign him to the deal because they think he's too injury prone. How many other teams are lining up for him?
I think several teams, but they don't want to pay him because.
But somebody would in the NBA.
He don't want to put in the effort.
I mean, who? Kawhi?
Kawhi.
Nah, bro.
That's what Stephen A. said.
I mean, that's when you listen to Stephen A. He don't like Kawhi. You know Kawhi is my boy, so I'm gonna stand for him.
I feel you.
But at the end of the day, all I'm getting at is that in the NBA, when a star is looking for that contract and then the team doesn't want to give him that contract, there's a list of teams waiting for them.
Yeah.
List of them.
Yeah, they ready to go.
They ready, locked and loaded, trade packages. They ready with money, whatever it is. They trying to figure it out. They'll start cutting people to make sure they can make room. Whatever it is, they'll make that happen, right?
I got my own theory about that, though.
What do you mean?
And I just think it has to do with the fact that basketball in general, I'd have to say, is probably the more popular sport. They probably bring in more money than the NFL does.
It doesn't.
They don't?
It's a more national sport. It's more regarded worldwide.
The Olympics
but
stuff,
the NFL is America's sport. So if you're talking about America,
I'm just talking about in general. It's the more popular sport.
Okay, more popular in that sense. Yes.
Like
it's more known.
Of course, like for instance with football, yeah, it's America's sport, but I've heard plenty of people say, I don't know what's going on with football. I'm not watching football. I've heard plenty of people say, I don't know what's going on with basketball, but yeah, I'm gonna watch basketball because the girls want to watch it because of the dudes or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So like, I could see why the NBA is gonna make sure they get these people their money.
Understood.
Especially because in the NBA, the basketball players are more. They'll come together and stand for what they feel is right.
Yeah, the NFL Players Association isn't as good as the NBA's Players Association.
Plus, I think that if you go through point guard all the way to center, they hold more weight than one position, especially a running back's position,
right,
in the NFL.
Yeah,
now, if you want to weigh quarterback, you can weigh that.
Right,
that's the pivotal point of the team.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong because it's 5 players, and everybody gets the same stats if you get it.
Yeah,
but I mean, the sports are different, and I don't disagree with y'all on that. It's just that the reason all I'm getting at is that when it comes down to a generational player like Saquon, the second pick in the draft, he's pretty much accounted for like almost 40% of your offense. One player. One player. Think about it. It's like you say 40%, it's like, okay, there's a whole 60%, but that's one player that accounts for that much of your offense. I mean, that's why when he got the quote, when he was like, it is what it is, and he's like, yo, if I talk about my leverage, like I can say F the Giants, I can say F my teammates, and y'all go see what y'all could do without me pretty much, because I'm not going to show up if that's how y'all feel. I mean, the Giants are the ones that are going to suffer for that. And they're just going to be like, oh, we're going to count on you wanting your money that much that you're going to sign this deal.
But you know what hurts him? The whole Le'Veon Bell thing, too.
Le'Veon Bell kind of messed it up for everybody, but then do y'all blame... I mean, Le'Veon Bell started this, but do y'all blame him?
No. I mean, you could want your bag, but it just didn't work out for you.
Oh, yeah. You talking about how his results.
Yeah, how everything happened. You went to the Jets, and you weren't that guy.
Yeah,
so
100%.
It is what it is. Now, Saquon hold out and becomes that guy 1 year and gets his bag. It worked out. It just... You taking a chance.
Not only... And then the other thing, too, is like... I read something that said that Saquon will lose about $561,000 on a week-to-week basis if he doesn't.
Jeez.
If he don't play during the season.
$561,000.
$561,000.
I can't.
I guess that's based off of the franchise tag and how they break it up weekly.
Yes.
I mean, it's $10 million.
It's $10 million.
Yeah, so
around $10 million. So. Yeah. I mean, if let's say they just don't want to budge and he doesn't play the whole season.
If I'm him, I would tell him come back in the later half of the season.
Yeah.
Don't even go all the way till December. Come back in December. Because if you come back in December, less chance for injury. They're probably gonna suck.
You think they're gonna suck?
Saquon Barkley is 40% of their offense.
I understand he's 40%, but I wouldn't say they're gonna suck.
I mean, who's their running back? Because the reason why those other guys,
though, that's the whole reason. The NFL, these coaches and the staff and the organizations, they treat these players, these running backs, like they're a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
And if they feel like they have a solid enough system, especially on offense, where they can go plug somebody in that can do just enough, they gonna do it.
So here's my only rebuttal to that. I don't disagree with your assessment, but if you're a running back and you're I keep saying freaking Le'Veon, but if you're Saquon Barkley and you decide not to play, there's two things that could happen. They can just run with Matt Breida, which I doubt, or they're gonna go try to pay one of these remaining free agents for the low that will take less than probably $5 million to play for 1 year, and
which they very much could do.
They could do that. Now in that situation, then I don't think the Giants suck. But if they want to be cheap on the running back position, I don't see them. Especially if these guys haven't been signed, they probably feel like they can get them for even cheaper than than what they probably want. Like right now, I'm pretty sure these guys' number is at least $5 million for 1 year. But
it's just like the odds don't look like they in Saquon's favor.
I mean, it's not in the running back position is booty, dog. Like it's really sad because these boys really take a lot of the hits. They do a lot of the work. They block for their quarterback.
It's the hardest position to play on your body.
On your body,
maybe the say that. Like people say the running back because you have to block D lineman.
You blocking
like
you're chipping, you're blocking, like
you doing every
trucking
block.
people.
Depending on the type of running back you are,
making fast cuts.
Yeah,
but that's why I believe running backs started switching, like where we got into the league where now it's a pass catching role.
Yeah,
and there's the running back role, like where the guy is just
standard running back.
Yeah. So now when you add pass catching to your role, you may not go through the tackles no more, but
as much.
I mean, okay, so not even that, but maybe like think about people like Nyheim Hines. He would run through the tackles every once in a while, but he's usually being flanked out.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's kind of like you get treated as like another receiver in a sense.
But then look at his value though. Because he's probably on a lower level of pass catching backs, he's not getting a check like that.
Oh, of course.
Same thing happened to Khalil Herbert.
Right.
Same thing.
Khalil Herbert, I don't know if
he's still
on his rookie, I think.
But he's never been mentioned as the number one back.
Well, that's because they had David Montgomery.
Yeah,
there.
So now this year you got to see how he rolls with it.
This year will be the determining factor because Montgomery's gone.
I would say people like when you talk about Derrick Henry and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
just a rarity. He's one of the few people that can actually run through
still
the
like
tackle as a true running back instead of a pass catching back.
I agree. How do y'all feel is gonna what do you feel is gonna happen with Josh Jacobs?
How much does he want? That's the question.
I mean, Josh Jacobs has been consistent since he came into the league.
Well, last year he had an amazing season.
Amazing
no
last
one would
year.
have guessed.
Yeah, but again, straight out of college, he had a good year.
Yeah.
He had an okay, maybe, was he in his fourth year right now or fifth year? No, he probably in his fifth year because the first year they probably pick up the last year. So he's probably going into year 6, and that's where the tag is. So I want to say like he had a little lull, but he was still a top running back.
This is 5th year. He dropped 2019.
Yeah.
I mean, after last year, he deserves a payday. Is he gonna do that again? I can't say he will.
I think that he's worth the payday, but I think that running backs need to get at least, if you're a top running back, like because obviously the Derrick Henrys, the Christian McCaffreys, they're getting like $12 million.
Yeah.
You know, that's I think Christian McCaffrey got 16 when the deal just started. So, the deal is different year by year, but it probably wasn't that bad, for this organization to pay him that and then know that it was probably front loaded.
Yeah.
But I think that Josh Jacobs could take like a similar Derrick Henry deal, and I think that things would work out.
He definitely can. I think it all depends on the organization. If you have a quarterback you can fall back on, and you get a rookie or a low budget running back, then you can take a chance on not paying him. But definitely Josh Jacobs deserve it.
Yeah, I mean, think about Dalvin, bro. Dalvin's still out there.
Honestly,
all these guys are gonna sign somewhere before the year starts. Like somebody's gonna sign them. I think the teams are just waiting for that particular running back market for those guys to like drop significantly before they go pay somebody. Nobody wants to set the standard. Like, put it this way, if Dalvin signs for $10 million, what makes Kareem Hunt feel like he can't get 8? What makes Leonard Fournette feel like he can't get 8 or 7? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, what makes them think they can't? They've had similar productive years.
If you put the similar numbers, you feel like you're to that caliber, then I want the same amount of money.
Because that's how the league goes.
Yeah,
it goes off of like what's the last deal.
Yeah,
Yeah, one deal.
So I feel like they're trying to set that running back market, and they want to set that to like $2 million. Because think about what the Dolphins signed Monster and Wilson to. Wilson got like a 2-year deal. Like
12 million or
no,
10 million?
not even.
Not even?
Like
it was less.
It was like $8 million, $7 million, 2 years.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Monster might have got 1 year or maybe a 2-year $5 million. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like
yeah, I mean, like they buying low. They're buying low based off of prior production, history with injuries and stuff like that. When you talking injuries and whatnot, like I said, running backs are like a dime a dozen, and it's a very that position. Those players get injured a lot, so.
Yeah, Raheem Mostert got a 1 year, $2 million.
They're just being straight up business minded with the situation. They're not really thinking too much about, these running backs individually on a, ethics wise.
Yeah, on a personal level, they're doing them wrong because a lot of them are like, what is Tennessee without Derrick Henry?
Nothing. Because Tannehill
they
ain't
don't
nothing.
have. Yeah,
But Tennessee isn't in this gripe because they paid their running back.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, like, what is Tennessee without Derrick Henry?
They're not the same.
They're the Falcons without Julio. It's the same category.
They're not the same, man.
It's like when somebody leads your team and does so much for your team and your organization, you kind of feel like you got to take care of them. But now I feel like we're in this point of like, we don't want to take care of you because the dollar sign doesn't make sense and the rest of the league isn't paying this number.
Yeah. And it causes people to get that one contract and retire. We've been seeing it through history with Barry Sanders. The man give you everything he got plus. Probably the best running back ever or one of.
Yeah.
And y'all can't win. And people just move
the
on.
shittiest possible situation you could be in.
Exactly.
Absolutely terrible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I mean, it's sad, bro. Think about the Ricky Williams days, bro. Like, when a running back can be very much what keeps your team alive.
Exactly.
A running back can keep your team alive. Think about Marshawn Lynch, bro. Why did the Seahawks not win that Super Bowl against the Patriots?
They didn't give him the rock.
Like,
simple as that.
They wanted to get cute and think that Russell Wilson had to be the hero. Now he over here in Denver and can't even get back to what he looked like in Seattle.
And it's crazy because unanimously, everybody that saw that game, why they didn't give it to Marshawn?
Exactly. And you had several.
Bro, the man's nickname is Beast Mode.
Yeah. After what he did the Saints and the other run he had.
I could maybe, if they had the thought process that they know we're going to give it to Marshawn, so let's do something else. No. Still give it to him.
You're at the one.
Exactly.
You're at the one.
Because you did the one play and the worst possibility happened.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than just pick a safer pick.
And you're going to do it against the Patriots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bill Belichick, a defensive-minded coach.
He's like, they're not going to want to run this ball because we know that they're going to run the ball. But if they were smart, they would run the ball because it's Marshawn Lynch.
Been in the playoffs how many times? Been to the bowl with Brady how many times? Has seen this situation how many times, son? Yes. What are you doing?
Let me ask y'all this one thing too, and it's not really a big question, but every Patriots team had a running back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had a pass catching running back too, but they all had a staple running back.
Always.
They make sure, and what do the Patriots have right now?
They got a running back. Ramondre Stevenson.
They got a running back.
Baller.
You know what I'm
saying? Drafting him if he falls to me.
Yeah. Facts. So that's what I'm saying. Like, running back is important, bro. It's important to the whole team and making sure that you can get somewhere, bro. No run game. What is our issue with the Dolphins? Where do we want more? We want more balance.
But you know what, though? To go back to the whole, running backs are a dime a dozen thing. It's just kind of like with the NBA. You know that these people are good. They just ain't get their shot yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. So, like, with running back, it's like, yeah, you got the guy that's he's a franchise player. He's the hot guy. But then you give you give that one running back his shot. All right, bro, we're going to throw you in the game. And he
go crazy.
Just go crazy.
It makes you think different.
We've seen it with Madison, too.
Samaje Perine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? AJ Dillon, like a lot of these guys do their thing when it comes to their time.
Philip Lindsay is a great example.
Oh, he saved so many people. Right, that year I had and when he came on the scene, I picked him up in free agency because I needed a running back. I think either my running back was like hurt, whatever it was, but it was a wrap, bro. I was not feeling it no more. But I just knew I needed something, and Philip Lindsay came in there. He ain't saved my season, but he definitely was a help.
James Conner, another one.
Yeah, now he's somebody.
It's crazy to me. The running back's legit the only position you can ball out and be on a whole different team the next year.
Yeah,
that's just wild to me.
Yeah, Foreman got his opportunity. His second Christian McCaffrey left.
Yeah,
and where he at now? The Bears.
The one from the Lions that's on the Saints. What's his name
Jamal
again?
Williams.
Jamal Williams, probably one of my favorite running backs ever. And that man,
he watched Naruto.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's interesting. He's an interesting character, bro.
But how many teams he been to? Like at least 3.
3.
Yeah.
It's been Green Bay, it's been Detroit, and now the Saints.
And then, like you mentioned, the Patriots. Who's the running back they had that broke the franchise record for most touchdowns? A black dude, swole black dude, that got in trouble in college.
Trouble in college.
I think he won. They won a Super Bowl, maybe, or they almost went. Dark-skinned black dude, running back. He had a lot of touchdown that year, and then he got traded the following year.
It wasn't Steven Jackson.
No, Steven Jackson.
Steven Jackson was real good for them.
Nice.
He was real good for them. I can't remember right now.
I'll look it up. Don't worry about
But
it.
I'm telling you now, dog. These running backs, bro. I'm telling you right now. LeGarrette Blount.
Yeah.
LeGarrette
Blount.
Out. Most touchdowns.
Bro, so LeGarrette Blount was you wanna know why? What sucks about running backs? It's like you want to be valued for how many touchdowns you score. It's not my fault that you give me the ball because you know I'm gonna get the ball at the one, and you know that nobody can stop me. That when I get my touchdowns, I'm at the one.
Exactly.
Like, it's not my fault. You know what you bought me here for. But then they're going to devalue you and say that you're only good for goal line, so we can't pay you because you can't do everything else.
Which is bullshit.
So it's like, what is it, bro? It's like you find something you like, you find something you don't like. You find something you like, then there's something you don't like. Like, no matter what, it's like, okay, you're a good runner, you don't got no hands. All right, well, we're not going to throw you the ball. We're not going to give you no money.
You get hurt a lot?
We ain't giving you no money.
You would literally have to be like the perfect running back. Hardly ever gets hurt.
Yeah, do everything.
Can catch the ball, run the ball. Then that's when they want to pay you.
Exactly.
Did Christian McCaffrey get paid because he white?
Nah.
That
man a baller. that man.
That's a joke, bro.
That man a baller.
It's a joke, bro. But nah, he's a baller for sure. But I'm just saying, like, and he definitely.
Well, you know what? One of the greatest white running backs ever.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
100%. Only one. Remember Peyton Hillis?
Yeah. That man got his shine. Wasn't he on the album cover that once?
Yeah.
Madden cover.
Yeah.
Reggie got me with the bullshit trade with that, bro. And then he ain't did nothing after that.
Boy.
He traded you Peyton Hillis?
Remember the Gronk trade?
Oh.
The infamous.
The Gronk trade for my
trade.
God, bro.
Infamous.
I was so mad.
But I needed a running back and nobody wanted to trade me, bro. I was so hurt in running back at that point. It was bad, dog.
I guarantee you, if we could like rewind time and go back to that season,
Don't
there
do
was
it.
probably
Somebody in the
a
free
running
agency.
back on the waiver wire you could have got that was going to
100%.
help you out.
I should have did it.
And if you didn't trade, you probably would have won that season. That's what's crazy. That's what's crazy.
I don't know, dog.
We all know you can't trust that man in fantasy, bro.
You think I ever did another trade with this man?
No,
Reggie will
again.
never get me over again,
You know
bro.
how many trades I get from Reggie, and I look at it, and I'm just like,
I tell Reggie he's crazy.
Decline.
Veto.
I'll tell you, bro. It's wild, bro. It's wild out here in these fancy trade worlds, bro. You know I'd be upset about these trades, bro. These trades don't be making sense.
I don't like trades.
It's not even that, but I don't like that when you offer somebody a very reasonable deal, but then they go to your friend and then you give them a shitty deal and they're like, yeah, bro, I just got my guy.
It's bullshit. It don't make sense.
Collusion.
Because they want to get over on you.
Yes.
Everything, the trade. That's why I can't trade in basketball, because everybody that wants to trade in basketball is trying to get over on you, bro.
Facts.
Yeah.
No matter
I don't
what.
understand it.
No matter what.
Carlos sent me some wild trades.
Nah, this man Carlos.
Some wild
Carlos
trades
be
in
wilding with these
basketball.
trades, and then they be like, who? It's like Rob, the only person that be trading with him.
Yeah, and then I gotta go veto it. It's wild. It's wild. Hey, remember when Prince was in fantasy football with us, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Prince.
Oh man, this man was doing all kind of shit, man.
Bro,
I'm gonna trade with this person. You gonna give me this, and I'm gonna go back.
It was Prince and his cousin, and they literally swapped almost their whole entire roster, bro.
Yeah,
Prince doing multi-team trades in NFL.
Yes.
Multi-team trades on fantasy football.
5-team trades.
5-team trades.
Bro, he's trying to switch up everything, bro. He's like, I'm going to go get this from this guy, and then I'm going to trade you this guy for this guy, and then you go give me back this guy, and then I'm going to go trade this guy for this guy,
and it don't work.
Have a whole new team.
If I get him and get you him, I'm going to go get him to him.
Bruh, and it don't even be working, though. And then the man want to complain. Like, no.
It was some fun times, bro. But Prince was wild, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. But anyway, y'all boys, that's a good little conversation about these running backs. I do feel for them though, bro.
I feel for them too. Yeah. It just sucks that the league got the upper hand.
Yeah, they really do, and it sucks that they just literally they're basically saying like the running back isn't as important, and it's a super important position.
And they gonna keep paying mediocre quarterbacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyways. That's a wrap, y'all boys. Thank y'all for watching the FantasyFlo Football Podcast. We're going to talk to y'all boys later.
Deuce.
Yeah. Listen. Took some time to get these mental reps. God body complex. Always go for more, never strive for less. Couldn't walk in my shoes, you ain't prepared for that. You niggas holding so much space, ain't clearing no cap. This here my luxury tax, get a massage, right raps. We done came so far to have to ever look back. Big portions, ain't playing no